We'll start with invocation prayer, Sahana Vavatu.
Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Saha Viryankaravavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 10. We will chant verses 5 to 10.
Ahimsa samata tushtihi tapodanam yasho yashaha bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva prithak vidhaha mahashaya sapta purve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jataha yesham loka imah prajaha etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo vetti tattvataha so vikampena yogena yujyate natra samshayaha aham sarvasya prabhavah mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanditaha macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te.
Last week we read verse number 6 of chapter 10. I'm reading the translation. The 7 great sages, the ancient 4, and the Manus, with their being in me, were born of mind. From them are these creatures of the world. So we briefly discussed what it means, but let's try to understand systematically the main message. What is he trying to convey to the entire humanity? And only way we can understand this verse is by comparing it to the dream state. If we did not have that experience of dream state, it is impossible to understand what they are saying. So it's a comparison between the dream state and the waking state. So any dreamer, he or she is experiencing a pluralistic world of objects and beings. Like every night we dream. So just try to analyze, understand your dream experience, what is happening. So it's a pluralistic phenomena of objects and beings. there is a dreamer, which is you, the subject, and the dream world is the object. And there is a subject object relationship. And there are millions and millions of objects and beings in the world. And you are going through various experiences, positive experiences, negative experiences, full of joy, sorrow, birth, death, success, failure, just like waking state. And for any dreamer, that experience is as real as waking state is for you and me. You have to understand this point. You and I may dismiss the dream experience right now, but when we were dreaming, while we were going through that dream experience, it is so real. Everything is distinct, everything has reality. Your life is real, you have a family, you have your job, you have your friends, relatives, your identity. You went to a particular school, you have your parents, you have your grandparents, you can trace your history for generations. So everything is so real and distinct. But the moment you wake up, you understand that dream was nothing but waker's mind. One mind, one homogeneous mind presented itself as the pluralistic phenomena of the dream experience. And what any dreamer is trying to do, he is trying to settle down in his or her life. Let me attend to this, let me attend to that. You know, this is so positive in my life. Certain things are not, they are negative in my life. It's all imagination, it's nothing. Actually, it was nothing. But while you are dreaming, it is impossible to understand that. Note down this point. Exactly same thing is happening to you and me right now. Like you are a waker. As a waker, you have your own personality, you have your own life. My life is different from your life. We have different experiences. Some of them are positive, some of them are negative. We can go on multiplying on this line. But what is this solid seeming world which we are experiencing? So all enlightened masters, they are telling us, is nothing but supreme reality. In layman's language, is nothing but God. But for you and me, it's not possible even to fathom, how could it be possible? Impossible. Everything is so distinct, everything is so different, everything has its solid realities, a solid seeming world made up of innumerable objects and beings. So, how can this pluralistic phenomena which we are experiencing right now could be one supreme reality? It's impossible. But those who have crossed over the illusion, just as a dreamer who has woken up from a dream, he understands that dream is nothing but waker's mind. So, similarly, this is the message any enlightened master is trying to give us, that the world which you are experiencing is nothing but one supreme reality. So, what is the purpose of this message? Everything is nothing but supreme reality. This is the message. So, my question is, what is the purpose of this message?
To not get caught up in the world. Just like it's nonsense to get caught up in a dream.
Good, very good. Anyone else?
One needs to be awake to understand the real truth.
Yes, good. You should be available to understand the message. Correct. What else? All these are correct answers.
Ignorance of the dream stage has to be removed by the knowledge of Vedanta and get up and wake up.
Mm-hmm. What else?
If you understand that, it helps us to realize how passing this phenomena we call the world is, and helps us to live in it better with that knowledge and kind of pursue our spiritual goal.
Good, very good. So all these are correct answers. So the main message is to wake us up, to make us aware of what is the reality and what kind of a life you and I are living. Like when you wake up from a dream, you understand the absurdity of dreamer's life, isn't it? While you are going through dream, you will not understand. It is impossible. To a dreamer, it is not absurd. But for a waker, our own dream last night, some funny dream you had, so we laugh at it. It could be a negative experience. Halloween is coming. Is today or it was yesterday?
Yesterday.
Okay. Well, I live on my own absolutely, so I don't come to know
It was
what is
yesterday.
happening. So you have heard some like scary stories. Everybody is talking about that, and then I don't know, you dreamt that you went somewhere and there was like spider decoration, and then you imagine that you are caught up in a spider's web, and spider is waiting for his dinner. That is you, and then you wake up suddenly. You laugh at that experience. How could I be spider's dinner? But not while you are going through that experience. So it's absurd. Now we understand as a waker. So similarly, the absurdity of our entanglement in the world. So that's the main point. You could be entangled positively, negatively. Either way, it is possible. It's not necessarily negative. Good many of us are going through, most of us, I would say, we are going through positive experiences in life, by and large. But that itself is absurd. So now it is impossible for us to understand that. So to what extent you are entangled and caught up in the world. So that shows your spiritual growth. There are no shortcuts. Somebody may say, no, I am so sincere, I am devout, whatever, which is great. But have you absorbed this message? And that shows when something good or bad happens to you, even if something like good happens, if you are established in this knowledge, yes, you will understand it's something to be happy about. It's not that, something nice has happened and you don't understand that. That could be tamas. Usually people mix these two qualities. Tamasic person is sleeping. Anything good or bad happens, there's hardly any reaction. So sattvic person also goes through joy and sorrow, but you understand. Yes, fine. Something pleasant, enjoy. Something unpleasant happens, fine. That is life. So how you react to positive and negative experiences in your life, that shows to what extent you have understood the message of the scriptures. It has got absolutely nothing to do with your association with this knowledge. That doesn't mean you don't get this knowledge. Without this knowledge, how is it possible? Per se, you may study, you may go to a place of worship, you may go on a pilgrimage, all that is great. We're not saying it is wrong. But has that helped you? to understand the absurdity of the world, at least partially, 5%, 10%, 20%. Fully, how can we understand? But as you start absorbing this knowledge, the effect of that knowledge is that wisdom to understand that this world is nothing but supreme reality. And I am caught up in this world, and one day I have to come out of this world. So that's the effect of that knowledge. So that's the main message in verse number 6. And in fact, the whole chapter is going to talk about that. So if you master this concept, comparison between dream and waking world, rest of the chapter is very easy, just a formality, including chapter 11. So these were the main points in verse number 6. So are we okay with this? Okay, good. Verse number 7, please. Excuse me.
एतां विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः सोऽविकम्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः एतां विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः सोऽविकम्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः
Translation. He who knows in reality this supreme manifestation and my yoga, he becomes established in unshakable union. There is no doubt about it. Natra samshayaha. Na atra samshaya. If you look at the translation, na means not, atra means here, samshaya is doubt. There is no doubt about it. It's a very powerful statement. He who understands the connection between the dream state and the waking state, who is he?
Enlightened person.
No, dream and the waking state I'm talking about.
Viveka.
He's a waker. There is no doubt about that. See, this is what he is saying. Why there is no doubt about that?
Because the dreamer is nothing but the waker's mind.
But you have to wake up to understand that.
So only when you wake up, you understand that. The dream was nothing but what?
Waker's mind.
Nothing but waker's mind. No dreamer can understand that. Only a waker can understand what is the connection between dream experience and the waker's mind. There is no doubt about that. No dreamer can understand this, isn't it? So now you understand what he is trying to say. So similarly, he who understands the connection between the waking world and the supreme reality, who is he?
Self-realized person.
He is a self-realized person, he is an enlightened person. There is no doubt about that. Natra samshayaha. Can you and I make that statement?
Not at the moment.
No, not at the moment. Why can't we say that? Last 2 weeks, this is what we have been hammering in, dream, waking, waker, supreme reality. So none of you can say you don't understand. Or maybe fed up also. How many times you are going to repeat it? It's clear, it's clear. Let's move on, let's move on. But can we make a statement that we have understood it? That this world which we are experiencing is nothing but supreme reality. Can we say that?
No,
We cannot say that. Why? Why can't we say that?
because we haven't crossed over yet.
We haven't crossed over yet. It's a piece of information. It's a knowledge, it's information. But that is not what we are experiencing, isn't it? So therefore he says there is no doubt about that. You have to cross over the illusion.
Yeah.
So what is happening to all of us is we are going through three states of experiences. We keep on repeating this. It's a very important concept. So what are these three states of consciousness we are going through? All of us. That is my life, that is your life. What are these three states of consciousness?
Waking, dream, and deep sleep.
Waking state of consciousness, dream state of consciousness, and
Deep sleep.
deep sleep state of consciousness. So these are conditioned states. And even within these three states, the lower state cannot understand the higher. That comparison will be useful. See, for example, a deep sleeper understands only a deep sleep. Deep sleep meaning dreamless sleep. You're fast asleep. So a deep sleeper knows only a deep sleep. He does not understand the dream state, which is higher to him as far as a deep sleeper is concerned. But the dreamer understands dream state as well as he understands
Deep sleep.
deep sleep. Because you can dream that you had a very good sleep, that was your dream experience. So a dreamer understands dream state and also he understands
Deep sleep.
the deep sleep, which is lower than him. But higher than the dream is what? The waking state. Dreamer does not understand the waking state. Deep sleeper knows only deep sleep state. He doesn't understand the dream state. But the dreamer understands dream state and he understands the deep sleep state. But he doesn't understand the waking state. But the waker understands waking state. He understands
In dream state.
dream state. Also, he understands
Deep sleep state.
deep sleep state. But the waker, right now we are going through waking state. But the waker cannot understand the state of enlightenment, the state of self-realization, which is unconditioned state, which is also called as Turīya. All these are synonyms. Turīya meaning fourth plane of consciousness. He doesn't understand that. Do we have that PowerPoint, Makran? Yes, all of you know this, so it becomes very easy.
Deep sleeper, dreamer, waker, fourth state. Okay.
Yep. So waker knows waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, but the waker does not know the fourth state. Turīya is called Turīya, the state of enlightenment. So all of us are caught up in these three states: waking, dream, deep sleep. Waking, dream, deep sleep. So again, what is the message? When you look at this chart, what is the message for all of us? What is the appeal for the entire humanity?
To migrate to the Turīya state, the fourth state.
Mm-hmm.
These three are
Get
the
the fourth
passing. Three are the just passing state. Deep sleep, dreamer, and waker. In a spiritual path, we have to reach to the fourth stage.
Yes, correct. What else?
We have to reach the fourth stage to understand that this waking state was absurd.
That's the only mission of human life. There is no other mission. Because waking, dream, deep sleep, they are conditioned states. They are not real states. It's nothing but play of desires. That is all. Desires, when they are in unmanifest form, they are called as vasanas. That is deep sleep state of experience. When desires are partially manifest, it is dream state. When desires are fully manifest, it is waking state. But the whole play is brought about, the play of these three states, by our own desires. So desire itself is conditioning. So our only mission, our true mission in life is to cross over these three conditioned states. So how do you find out where you are? We all understand we are in these three states. None of us is in the fourth state. That goes without saying. But how do you understand the extent of your ignorance in these three states? Let's talk about a waking state right now. How do you understand what is the gravity of the situation? To what extent you are ignorant of your mission in life? In theory, you know. All of us know now. I'm not talking about totally ignorant people. In theory, we all know that we have to cross over these three states to reach the ultimate state of enlightenment. That's our mission in life. All of us understand that, isn't it? But then how do we know to what extent this message has really hit us? How do we know?
Our level of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, through study and practice. And
sorry, say that again.
Through study and practice and meditation.
Correct, that's the path. But then what is the effect of all that?
All this happiness and sorrow in the world, it is nothing but the passing stage. You understand, you behave, but you know that it is just a passing. How much you believe into that it is a passing stage, how much effect you get because of that.
Good, very good. What else?
Do we have a feeling of oneness with all beings?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
To what extent our day-to-day life or our desires affect us, and the role of those desires and the mission to eliminate them or get out of it.
Perfect. So all these are correct answers. So to what extent you are entangled, you are caught up in the world, and to what extent you are affected by the world. So that's the ultimate test, isn't it? You may understand this message. All of us understand. I can't think of a single person who cannot understand this message. You have been attending these classes for a long time. But has it helped you to come out of your entanglement in the world? Are you still completely caught up in the world with your friends, with your family, with your job, with your joy, with your sorrow, with your recreation, with your acquisition, with your enjoyment? And that doesn't mean you live like a recluse. It doesn't mean that. But to what extent you are entangled? When you have to study, you have to study, or you get caught up in entanglements, other entanglements. I'm giving you a simple example from day-to-day life. To what extent positive and negative things are affecting you? Definitely you experience joy and sorrow as a human being. Don't misunderstand. But to what extent you are affected by it? There are two different things. So if you are affected by joy and sorrow, that shows that you have a long way to go. So therefore, find out what is the level of your entanglement in the world. What is the level of affectation in the world? If small things are bothering you, then you know a lot of correction is required, isn't it? So it should be taken as a test, ultimate test of your spiritual evolution. And you cannot fake it. That's the beauty, you know. Yeah, you may fake it to the whole world, but you cannot fake it to yourself. You know, I'm not bothered. I'm not affected. You may say it. You may even try to cheat yourself, but still you will not be able to cheat yourself. Either you are affected or you're not affected. Zero affectation is enlightened person. It's impossible. So find out 20% affectation, 30% affectation, 40% affectation, 90% affectation. Small change in the weather can affect you. It's possible. Few days back, I was in the bank. I had some like work regarding the foundation, and one lady was helping me. I know for last 5-6 years. I mean, I was there maybe for 15-20 minutes, and something that iPad was not working. You know, they need that to log in. So like 5-10 minutes, she was chit chatting with me. Half the time she was grumbling about weather. I mean, these 2 days have been great, but day after tomorrow is showing rain. Oh my God, you know. And really, I mean, she was genuinely affected. A simple thing like weather can ruin your day or a week or whatever. So find out what is the extent of your entanglement, involvement in the world, and to what extent you are affected by the world, and correct yourself. If nothing is affecting you, then you are beyond this knowledge, isn't it? So, it is good when something affects you, you know where you stand, so that you will work on improving yourself. So, that's the main message. And another interesting explanation of the same concept, like somewhere else they explain, that all the experiences of 3 states which we are going through, and when you become enlightened master is giving that explanation, is like as if you dozed off for a while and you woke up again. In fact, he says all our lives put together, but let's talk about this life. It becomes easy. You take a flight from Detroit to Boston and you doze off for a while. Like, it's going to take 2 hours. So you had a nice meal and you're in a comfort plus seat or a first class seat, wherever. So you recline your seat and you doze off for half an hour. And then you wake up. So how long the dream lasted? Let's say 20 minutes, 30 minutes, right? But for a dreamer, that experience is so real. See, though it is 30 minutes, and you are, let's say, 40-45-year-old person in that dream, as far as you are concerned, dream state I am talking about, you lived those 40-45 years, isn't it? And you can account for everything. There's so much of depth there. You can trace back that dream experience to whatever, my parents, my grandparents, my whatever. But when you wake up, you understand that dream lasted for how long? This is the point. How long did the dream experience last? You dreamed for how long?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. So exactly same thing is happening to us. See, we keep on comparing. Let's say somebody is 50 years old right now or 40 years old. Can you not account for every year, every month of your life? By and large, I am saying. Can you not account for that? Is there not a depth? Yes, I have lived this 40 years, 50 years. But when you wake up to the state of enlightenment, he is saying it is as if you sleep, you dozed off. That is how they describe. I'm trying to give you different angle, so concept becomes clear. So now read the translation, it makes sense. He who knows in reality this supreme manifestation and my yoga, my union, meaning connection between the world and the supreme reality. He becomes established in unshakable union. Once you wake up from a dream, you cannot fall back into that particular dream. So once you wake up to the fourth plane of consciousness, you cannot fall back into limitless. So there is no doubt about that. Natra samshayaha. Verse number 8, please.
Aham sarvasya prabhavah mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Aham sarvasya prabhavah mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha.
Translation: I am the origin of all. From me everything evolves. Understanding thus, the wise worship me endowed with devotion. Bhava samanvitaha, meaning full of devotion. Now in verse number 8, he gives a general preparation for your spiritual sadhana. It's a guideline. Verse number 9, he gives real sadhana. Sadhana means spiritual practice. And verse number 10, he explains the effect of this spiritual practice, that how you become contemplative and meditative. So that's the general thought flow in verse number 8, 9, and 10. Just note down the thought flow. Now coming back to verse number 8, see again it's the same message, that microcosm and macrocosm is nothing but the expression of one reality. Dream state, waking state. Keep going back to that example. But right now we are experiencing a plurality where there is only oneness. So therefore in Vedanta they dismiss this entire world. It's no big deal. What fuss you're making? For what? It is nothing but nama rupa. That's the expression they use. It is nothing but name and form. Nama rupa. Nama means name, rupa means form. Like a dream experience is nothing but what? There is a dream dog, there is a dream cat, there is a dream sun, there is a dream this, there is a dream that. But all of that is what?
Waker's mind.
Waker's mind, one waker's mind. Then what was that dream experience, pluralistic experience? It's a nama rupa. Yes, he saw one homogeneous mind presented itself as millions of objects and beings. So exactly same thing is happening to all of us. So you have to keep coming back to this comparison. Charcoal and diamond, they have diametrically different properties, isn't it? The whole world is talking about that heist in France right now. It's a hot topic, you know. So what's the difference between diamond and charcoal? Have you heard of a heist to steal 10 pieces of charcoal? Thought itself is, weird, you know. So what's the difference between charcoal and a diamond? Diamond is precious, right? Charcoal is cheap. Charcoal is soft. Diamond is tough. It can cut through the steel. It will last forever. Diamonds are forever. Charcoal has got a limited lifespan. But what is charcoal? What is diamond? Newcomers, those who are not exposed to this, should answer this question. What is charcoal? What is diamond?
Subjective objects.
Mm-hmm. That they're diametrically different properties even to look at. But what is it? What is the common factor? What are they? I'm talking from scientific point of view here.
Carbon.
Excellent. It's nothing but carbon. In one permutation and combination, it appears as charcoal. In another permutation and combination, it appears as what?
Diamond.
Diamond. So what's the difference between charcoal and a diamond?
Time and pressure.
The composition of the carbon in that material.
Nama Rupa. You understand it? Just the name and form. In one form, it is charcoal. In another form, it is diamond. So it's a Nama Rupa, right? So exactly same thing is happening to us. This is what I'm trying to give you the philosophical meaning. So much of differences, so much of, I don't know, conflicts and this and that, divisions, demarcations and all that. Where there is oneness, where there is only one supreme reality, ignorant people are caught up in all sorts of divisions and demarcations. What is it? What is it that you are experiencing? Actually, what is it? What are these so-called differences?
Supreme reality.
Nama Rupa. This is how you need to educate yourself. It's all nothing but Nama Rupa. So much of greed for wealth, so much of greed for power, so much of greed for name, fame, reputation, and whatnot in the world. What is all that? It's Nama Rupa. This is how you must remind yourself. What am I chasing in the world? It's a Nama Rupa I am chasing. Fascinating, that construction. I don't know whether I am able to convey the message. This is how wise people, they dismiss the whole world. With that one sentence, it is nothing but Nama Rupa. You're caught up in what? It's a play of things. It's all one reality, and you are demarcating it and you are affected by it, you are chasing it. So wise people worship me. I think wise people, they have understood this. That's what it means. I'm just reading the translation. I am the origin of all. From me, everything evolves. Understanding thus, the wise worship me. So that line I am explaining now. Worshipping means constantly put efforts to go to the source, which is supreme reality. That's what it means. So how you do that? When we say constant efforts, how can you put constant efforts? Through every perception, action, emotion, and thought. You channelize your perceptions, actions, emotions, and thoughts to achieve that goal. See, we often use the word perception. Perception meaning senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. These are the five senses we have. And through these five senses, we perceive the world. With eyes, what do you perceive? Color and form. With nose, you perceive smell. With ears, you perceive sound. With tongue, you perceive
Taste.
taste. And with
Yes.
skin, you perceive the touch. So, where are your senses? What are you constantly perceiving? Are you perceiving? Are you putting efforts to receive positive, conducive stimuli for your spiritual growth? That's what it means. What you hear with your ears, what you see with your eyes. Is it conducive for your spiritual growth? That's the meaning of the word worship. Similarly, what types of actions are you performing? See, every action we have a choice. That's the beauty of a human being. So, is my action helping me to attain the ultimate goal? Even the relative point of view, is it going to take me to my spiritual goal, whatever your spiritual goal is in life? What types of emotions I am entertaining? Are they conducive for my spiritual growth? What types of thoughts am I entertaining? Am I entertaining biased thoughts, thoughts of divisions, demarcations, or am I constantly putting efforts to see that oneness, that unity everywhere? So, constantly you're putting efforts to get to the source, meaning your spiritual goal, relative or ultimate spiritual goal. So, you supervise, you manage, you channelize all aspects of your personality towards that goal. And the same perception, action, emotion, and thought can be directed to get entangled in the world also. You get the beauty. Because what is it that you have to offer for your spiritual evolution? There are only four things you can offer. What are they? Your perceptions, your actions, your emotions, and thoughts. Only four things you can offer, right? Just as when you go to a gym, there is a standard gym equipment there. Giving you a simple example. And with that equipment, let's say there are 10, 15 equipment in the gym. You have to build your body. All of us are given the choice. All of us join that gym. So how will you build your body? Simple example I am giving you so the concept becomes clear. Imagine you join the gym, there are 15 or 20 equipment there, and we all are told, okay, 3 years, go, build your body.
Action.
Correct, but what equipment we have?
You have to go all the equipment one by one.
Correct, but what is the choice of equipment I am asking? All the correct answer. What is the choice I have? What is the choice you have?
The equipments in the gym, limited to that.
Same equipment. One person may build his body, he may have a fine-tuned body, perfectly toned body. Another person may end up in hospital within 4 months, 5 months. You get the point. Same equipment he is using in a wrong way. Yoga, what is yoga? What is it that you improve? Same body. It's not that different body you have. How many people they have? Personally, I know 6, 7 people, they ended up with a serious injury in yoga classes. I don't know if you heard that. In the gym, you will understand. But even in yoga classes, people, they are hurting themselves, going beyond your capacity or not knowing the science of the yoga, yogasanas I am talking about. So the same yoga, one person may have a perfect body, another person may have injury. Same gym, same equipment. One person may have perfect body, another person may end up hurting himself or herself. So similarly, what is it that you have to offer for your spiritual evolution? Everybody has got access to what? Nobody is denied that access. That's the beauty. Perfect opportunity for every human being. Nobody is denied that opportunity. It is a gift from God to you the day you are born. So what is it you can offer for your spiritual evolution throughout your life?
PAET.
PAET. So same PAET, perception, action, emotion, thought, you can use for your spiritual evolution, and you can reach the ultimate state of enlightenment. Same PAET you can use for what?
The worldly thing.
To get entangled in the world, to devolve and make a mess of your life, acquire more desires. Choice is whose? Who has that choice?
You. We have a choice.
You have that choice. So find out where are your thoughts in every perception, action, emotion, and thought. That is spirituality. It doesn't matter what you do in life. It's a complete misconception. So you may be associated with a spiritual place and nothing to do with spirituality. All you are doing is entertaining biased, negative thoughts, self-centered thoughts. But physically, you are in a so-called spiritual religious place. That does not decide your spirituality. Your spirituality is decided by where are your thoughts in every perception, action, emotion, and thought. So therefore, we often say, I'm giving you a softer version now. When you have a higher ideal in life, in whatever you are doing, you may be in law, you may be in medicine, you may be in politics, you may be in sports, doesn't matter. Everybody is engaged in a different profession. When you have a higher ideal in life, how can I serve the community with my talent? The word which we use is Loka Sangraha. How can I work for the welfare of others? See that small group, that welfare of others could be like 10 people are working in your organization. It's a small organization. Are you working for their welfare? That's the higher ideal. At home, the same higher ideal. How can I work for the welfare of my family members without personalizing, without any self-centered interest? So when you have a higher ideal in your life, beyond your self-centered interest, I am repeating, doesn't matter what you are doing in life. That is what calms your mind. I'm still trying to explain that word, the wise worship. What is that worship? Through higher ideal, you calm your mind, and when your mind is calm, it is ready for contemplation and meditation. Otherwise, how can you forget about contemplation and meditation? How can you even receive this knowledge? How can you even reflect on this knowledge if your mind is full of mental agitations? And what mentally agitates our mind is our self-centeredness. So what is this worshipping me in day-to-day life means? Hardly anybody understands that. You may go to a temple every day with tears in your eyes and highly self-centered. That is no spirituality. So what is spirituality? Wherever you are, you work for Loka Sangraha. Try to master that word. We often use this. Bhagavad Gita, a couple of times that word is mentioned. Fascinating word. Work for Loka Sangraha. Work for the welfare of others. That is worshipping me. That is worshipping God. That is being spiritual. Swami Ramatirtha, he makes a fascinating statement. One who cannot identify with his motherland cannot be a spiritual person. One who cannot identify with his motherland cannot be a spiritual person. That doesn't mean get phonetically attached to your country. You understand? No, either you understand or you don't misunderstand. Oh, India, 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 all the time. No, you could be, how can you not identify with your nation? It could be India, it could be America, it could be Russia, it could be China, it could be Switzerland, whatever. We're not talking about phonetic attachment. "30 years back, I still remember when I joined Vedanta Academy. I think in 6 months, 8 months time, I asked, no, we had just like how we have question and answer session here. So we, every week, or sometimes twice a week, we used to have question and answer session with Swamiji. So I asked this question to Swamiji. Swamiji, why not have Indian flag in the academy? Why not have a flag of our academy is in India, Bombay? Swamiji said, does that mean you identify only with India? Is Vedanta only for Indians? I was 25, 26-year-old that time. I didn't know how to react. I mean, I got a jolt. You know? Definitely you identify with your nation, but your identification is with the whole world. You get the point? So to begin with, identify with your nation. If you cannot identify with your nation, how can you identify with the whole world? So forget about it. So that doesn't mean you are phonetically attached to your nation. They're two different things. If you slip, you will be phonetically, whatever you'll be, become phonetic American, phonetic Indian, phonetic Chinese, or whatever. So follow this message carefully. And then he says, endowed with devotion. You worship me endowed with devotion, meaning spiritual path is a confluence of mind and intellect. That's all it means. You have to have devotion, but it has to be backed by logic and reason. Otherwise, your growth will be lopsided, meaning you will not grow. Just logic, just reason. There is no surrender, there is no reverence, there is no devotion. You will become a Vedanta scholar, meaning zero. Understanding is zero, or only mind minus thinking, minus logic, minus reason. You will become a religious fanatic. So you need both, combination of both, confluence of both is required to cut through the ignorance of desires, vasanas. So you have to feel that devotion, surrender is must, but you must understand what you are feeling. And you must feel what you understand. That's what we mean by confluence of mind and intellect. So now read the translation, it makes sense. I am the origin of all, from me everything evolves. Understanding thus, the wise worship me, endowed with devotion. And then verse number 9 and 10 is just a formality with so much of explanation. So 9, he gives spiritual sadhana, meaning practice, almost we discussed it. And 10, he concludes by saying how you qualify for contemplation and meditation. So that's the effect of correct spiritual path, correct spiritual practices. So time up, yeah, it's 10:30. So any quick question before we conclude? Something not clear from today's presentation?
You mentioned a word that we should constantly think about with regard to serving others. What was that word again? Locus?
Loka Sangraha. Loka Sangraha, meaning welfare of others. We should have that, Vijay, that pen to write, where I can project on the screen.
Welfare of others.
That whiteboard, which can be, but something which is very easy to use. What we got was like Stone Age, I mean, impossible. Something which is like latest, without any complications. Immediately, I should be able to project it on the screen.
We have. I have the book, so I can probably find it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So the word is Loka Sangraha. I know how to. Let me repeat it. Loka Sangraha, meaning welfare of the world. I mean, all Indians, they know it, but non-Indians, Loka, I'm trying, Loka, Loka Sangraha, Sangraha, Loka Sangraha. It is there in the book. Few times it comes. Just understand the meaning. Welfare of the world. So should we conclude for today? So have a wonderful weekend and see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amity. Thank you,
Thank
Amity.
you. Thank you.
People training.